The final witness, a story of justice, conspiracy, and a father's fight for truth. A shadow of murder. The courtroom was frozen in silence. All eyes were fixed on the heavy-built man, who had suddenly stood up, a small pistol in his hand. His face was worn with pain, his clothes wrinkled, and his voice trembled as he shouted, "I want to speak. Just once. Let me speak." His name was Arman Sheikh. The media had painted him as a monster, the Red Hawk bomber. A man who had delivered a black bag full of explosives to a warehouse that went up in flames, killing 7, including a child. But what the world didn't know was that child was his son. And the real story hadn't even started yet. The blood deal. Night had fallen, like a blanket of secrets. Arman drove an old SUV through the dimly lit backstreets of the city, his fingers tight on the steering wheel. His mind swirled with images of his son, Ryan, and the promise he made before they were separated. He wasn't always this broken. He was once a proud logistician, working in supply chains across the country. But one wrong contract with a company called Red Hawk Logistics changed his life. Red Hawk was clean on paper. But Arman stumbled upon records, routes, containers, names that didn't make sense. One night, he followed a truck from the yard. What he saw would haunt him forever: children in cages, weapons in crates labeled medical aid. He tried to quit, but quitting wasn't an option. The witness lives. The courtroom buzzed like a broken wire. Journalists whispered into phones. The judge, stunned, tapped his gavel with force. "Order. This court will have order." Ryan stood trembling, his voice small but piercing. "They told me, if Baba said anything, they'd kill me." The truth exploded like a second blast, not of bombs, but of secrets. The judge allowed Ryan's testimony to continue. Arman dropped the pistol and surrendered. Timur, the lone honest officer left in the system, pushed for the case to be reopened. Then came the twist. Recovered footage from the warehouse showed 2 men planting explosives before Arman arrived. He placed a black bag unknowing, routine. The men set a timer. One of them, previously thought dead, walked out alive. The conspiracy was real. Killers of the system. Arman was a free man, but the war wasn't over. Red Hawk had rebranded as Falcon Freightlines, and the real mastermind, Kashif Ershad, had vanished. Timur slid a black folder across the table. "They're rebuilding near the border. Bigger, dirtier." Arman went undercover. He wore a fake name, worked silent nights, and watched monsters wear human skin. He saw trafficked girls, smuggled arms, corruption signed and stamped with government seals. Until someone recognized him. Gunfire, alarms, chaos. In a desperate move, Arman overloaded the weapons chamber. The compound exploded behind him as he escaped with the evidence. The proof shook the nation. High-ranking officials resigned. Kashif Ershad was arrested at the airport. Red Hawk was declared a criminal network. And Arman, he didn't show up to the final trial. He was at home, holding his son's hand, while Ryan stood on stage, a school art competition winner. His drawing: a man holding a lantern in the dark. Caption: "My father, the light who fought the shadows."